What's going on, this is Widget and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings, the series. Of course, we go through everything happening in and around the world, Leeds United, and we have a little talk about it. And boy, what a day it has been. It has been one of the most sensational days in Leeds United history. Leeds United kicking off pre-season with a bang. A 4-0 destruction of Blackpool and a 4-0 destruction at the hands of that man, Senior Firpo. What did I tell you about my boy, Senior Firpo? The guy is too good. He's too slick. He's too classy. He's too saucy. He is Senior Firpatino, whatever you want to call him, whatever amalgamation of his name you want to create. That is exactly what he is. He is a future Ballon d'Or winner. He is the greatest fullback to ever grace the English game. He is the greatest player to ever grace the European scene. And Leeds United are making a title charge. That is for damn sure. But let's stop waxing lyrical about that. Let's get to the reason you did come into here for. It is for all that transfer news that we are going to be breaking down in just a second. So let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into the meat of the action. And the first story, I mean, what a better place to start than with this Mancini Sign. We were talking about him yesterday, and I was telling you guys it is only a matter of time before this signing gets announced. I was saying basically, look, tomorrow morning this signing is going to be done, signed, sealed, delivered. He was just finishing up his medical, and well, would you believe it, by the time I'd woken up, by the time the video was out, guess what? Luis Sinisterra had signed. He signed until 2027. A big boy signing over on the left-hand side. Obviously, his statistics we all know by now. Absolutely liquid. 23 goals, 14 assists in 49 appearances. It's apparently rumoured to be going up to around £30 million with add-ons. There is a sell-on clause, which I'm hearing is meant to be around 10 to 15%. Again, it's a bit murky. There isn't a whole lot of actual reported news on what that specific clause is in his contract. However, the sell-on clause I'm guesstimating to be around 10 to 15%. That is what I'm kind of hearing. Those are the rumbles in the jungle that I am hearing. But hey, I could be wrong. It could be a bloody 30% sell-on clause for all I know. But all I know is that it is a good deal, and he is going to be signing on the left wing. And why I did want to bring this up to you guys again is because he's going to be playing on that left wing position. Most likely, you know, that's his natural position. He's probably not going to be brought in to play on the right-hand side. And who are we going to play on the right-hand side then if we are to lose Raphinha? That's the question. If we sell Raphinha, do we have to bring in another winger to play on the right-hand side? Are we going to play Jack Harrison on the right wing? Are we going to play Dan James on the right wing and then just drop Jack Harrison? And funnily enough, speaking of Jack Harrison, are we going to need to sell him? Because apparently, if we do want to go and buy a striker, if we do want to go and finish off our transfer window with a bang, we are relying on that Raphinha transfer money. But the whole Raphinha situation is so murky right now because there's stories coming out about Raphinha that Raphinha has been given an ultimatum by the club. Chelsea have, Raphinha's been given an ultimatum by the club that he needs to decide what he's doing soon. Chelsea have given Leeds an ultimatum that if you don't sell Raphinha to us by Sunday, then we're going to pull it off. We're going to go for someone else. Leeds want to sell him to Chelsea because those are the ones that are giving them the most money. Leeds are trying to give Barcelona an ultimatum as to whether they're going to come in soon enough to give Raphinha or to buy Raphinha from Leeds United. It's all a complete merry-go-round of mess. And right now, Raphinha does seem like he is staying at Ellen Road. But in that case, how are we going to finish off the transfer window without the money for him? People are saying we're going to have to sell Jack Harrison in order to do that. And because it's kind of a forced sale, we're probably only going to be able to get 20, 25 million pounds for him, which is not enough for the valuation of Jack Harrison. They were talking before about how they were going to hold strong for something like 30 million pounds or so for Jack Harrison. I think that's a good deal. I think 30, 35 million pounds is a good deal. But if you're looking at a situation where we sell Jack Harrison, use that money to buy a striker, and then in the January transfer window we end up losing Raphinha to Barcelona, well, then you're looking at a situation where we've lost two wingers and only brought in one. That's not really going to fly. That's not going to fly if you ask me. It is not going to fly. Much like Ryanair, they're going to be crashing everywhere, and it's not going, man. It is not going. But let me know what you guys think about that one down below anyway. And speaking of signings, one signing we have already made is that man Tyler Adams. Didn't feature in preseason yesterday, but he has still come out with some crunching news today, and he admits that he already loves one Leeds United player. Who is that Leeds United player, you may ask? Well, it is none other than that man, Senior Firpo, calling him the funniest guy he's ever met. Well, let me tell you something, Tyler, you are not alone. I love Senior Firpo more than I love a steak and chips. And you know, I love a good old girthy steak. Let me tell you something. Well, I love Junior, or should I say Senior Firpo, even more. And Tyler Adams are in the same boat, mate. I'm really excited to see how Tyler Adams could play. We saw how Roca impressed yesterday against Blackpool. I saw mixed reports around Roca. I thought he did play very well in the first half, and I think him and Tyler Adams in that midfield could look absolutely saucy together, man. Absolutely saucy. However, speaking of a midfield move, one midfield move that is not going to happen for Leeds United is that man, Mohammed Kamara. The move for Mohammed Kamara has fallen out completely. According to Austrian midfield outlet Salzburg 24 via Sport Witness, they claim that Victor Orta, believed to have launched a €30 million bid for the Salzburg midfielder this summer. However, his proposed switch to Ellen Road has now fallen through because we have gone for Tyler Adams instead. The report goes on to state that the Salzburg chief Christoph Freund has now ordered the Mali international back to preseason training in light of his recent developments, having initially given him time off in order to sort out his future. Considered just how talented the holding midfielder Kamara has proven himself to be at Salzburg, the argument that Orta had something of a shocker in not pursuing the 22-year-old this summer is an easy one to make. Well, I gotta disagree with you on that one, mate, because we just signed Tyler Adams. How many midfielders do you want us to sign? Do you want us to sign every single talented young midfielder on the planet, mate? What are you kidding me, man? We got Roca, we got Tyler Adams. You know, we're going to have to miss out on some players. You know what I mean? So we got Sinisterra, top geezer. We're going to have to miss out on Noah Lang. We might have to miss out on Cody Gakpo. You can't have them all, my man. You can't have them all. That's the thing that people have to take into account. Yeah, you're always going to miss out on good players. You just got to hope that the players that you do sign are better than those players, so it doesn't really matter. And speaking of a signing we do need to make, it is in that centre-back position, and that is a contentious one. I said we do need to make him, but it is a topic of contention. Do we need to make one? Do we not need to make one? That's the thing that seems to be getting people riled up quite a bit. Whenever I say, oh, I think we need a centre-back, people are like, oh, James, I think you mean a left. We need a left-back, mate. And I'm like, no. I'm telling you, a centre-back, I feel like we could do with one. I do feel like we could do with some proven experience back there. I feel like we could do with a natural Premier League proven leader at the back. But hey, maybe I am the solo interest in that one. Leeds United are, however, apparently looking for a full-back. According to the Spanish outlet Marca, Leeds United are not going for a centre-back like I want, but they are instead going for Genk full-back Gerardo Arteaga. We are apparently being linked with the 23-year-old, and they are likely to face competition from Premier League clubs Fulham and Brighton. Arteaga has less than 1 year left on his current deal with Genk, and it is believed that the Belgian club is keen on offloading the player before losing him on a free in less than 12 months' time. Arteaga is an athletic fullback known for his incredible work ethic. He will not just defend properly, but also be involved in goals by delivering crosses into the box for the like of Patrick Bamford and Daniel James. Oh, for God's sake, delivering crosses into the box for Daniel James. However, this guy is a left back. All right, this is the problem. The guy is a left back, and we don't need a left back. We've seen how amazing Senior Firpo is. Senior Firpo is there to stay. Senior Firpo is the best left back to ever grace the game. So for me, this story is a big fat miss. I think Senior Firpo proved yesterday we don't need another left back. All right, we do not need another left back because Senior Firpo is too good, man. He's too good. He is too good. And speaking of a player that has been acclaimed by the media and acclaimed by the masses to be too good, that man is, of course, Charles de Ketelaere, and he is not going to be going to Leeds United. I'm telling you, boys, some of you guys might got a bit excited about it. You know, some of you got very, very excited at the prospect of getting Charles. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be getting him. He is going to AC Milan. I can see it now. He's set for an AC Milan meeting after Leeds United made the approach. Leeds United offered £30 million for the attacker, and the player's agent turned it down. And I don't even think AC Milan are going to pay that much. I think he just really wants to move over there, and they're willing to sacrifice some money. Now, whether Bruges will be willing to sacrifice that money is a completely different question. Again, it strikes me as a bit of a Raphinha situation where we're in the boat of Chelsea, where we're more likely to strike a deal with Bruges because we're the ones that are actually willing to put the cash up front to go and get him. However, the player wants to go to Barcelona, and in this case, the player wants to go to AC Milan, and he's stiffing Leeds. And would you believe it? It's two English clubs that are getting stiffed in both of these situations, which you wouldn't really expect because most of the draw does seem to lie in the Premier League. However, I don't see this happening, man. Are you guys even massively keen on Charles de Ketelaere? Look, man, I like him in the attacking midfield role, potentially as a striker. I'd much rather go for someone else, man. I've said it many times. I feel like a broken record saying I'd rather go for a Calamuendo than him. But there are plenty of strikers I'd rather get than Charles de Ketelaere. He doesn't want to come here. I say we leave it, man. I say we leave it. I say we leave it. And speaking of leaving it, the final big story of the day is surrounding this man, Raphinha. We touched on him earlier, but the big news surrounding him came out of Phil Hay, who tweeted recently saying, Marsh said the club still need to decide whether he's going to Australia. With all the speculation surrounding him, Marsh plainly stated that he is aware that Raphinha wants a certain move and understands that. Despite Raphinha returning to training today, it is clear that everyone involved still has their mind on an exit. The winger himself, along with Deco, have made it clear that they want to go to Barcelona. As we know, mate, as we know, he wants out, but will Barcelona front up the cash? I still think it's really 50-50 now. I think it is an absolute flip of the coin as to whether we keep Raphinha. However, I feel like although we did get quite excited recently about the prospect of having Raphinha in that starting 11 and how good we could potentially be with it, do we need to sell him for the sake of our financial safety? I mean, look at the things here. You've got Victor Orta coming out saying that we've overspent in the past and that we don't really have enough funds to properly compete. You look at clubs like Everton who have completely ruined their finances recently. We don't want to get ourselves into one of those situations. I don't get why we don't have the money to front it up anyway, especially after selling Calvin Phillips for 40 million. And making all this money the other years. You look at Aston Villa, who can go again and again and again and again in the transfer window. It's an interesting one. Should we have sold Phillips for more money to recoup more of this? I don't know. But it's looking like we might be heavily reliant on that Raphinha money. We might just have to sell him, man. It might be better for all parties involved if Barcelona do come in with a big bid in the next week and do get him away for us, so we can look forward and try and get a striker and maybe potentially another winger as well. And finally, before we do leave, there has been another story about Leeds United scouting St Mirren defender Murray Campbell with a £400,000 price tag set. He's a youngster that Leeds are apparently looking to get involved in our youth squad, our already rapidly growing youth squad, and it could just be a good acquisition. But let me know what you guys think about all these deals down in the comment section down below. But for now, guys, we'll see you very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.